Well, welcome to Expert in the House, everybody. My name's Dan Doyle from Sydney, Australia. I'm an ambassador Triple Diamond for a company called ASEA. ASEA is the company we're going to talk about tonight and their breakthrough products. We've got an incredible breakthrough technology. We've got something here, I'm sure, for everybody on this call. Whether that you may have a health challenge yourself, you may know people that do have a health challenge. You may not like the way you're looking or feeling as you're aging. You might be looking, you might be an athlete. You understand the concept of looking after yourself through nutrition, through fitness, or you might be looking for an opportunity. So I'm sure there's something here for everybody on this call. And welcome back for those who have seen this presentation. So my name is Dan Doyle, and I'm on the Global Advisory Council for this company, ASEA. It's been an incredible journey for me to here today, tonight, talking to you guys. I didn't want to go on the journey to get to where I am today, but I'm glad I did basically go through what I went through to get to this point. Just before I go into my story, I just want to make sure that everybody understands this company's disclaimer that these products I'm going to talk about, particularly the ASEA Redox supplement, the Renew 28, are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. What I'm going to talk about are products that can empower the body to heal itself. So what I'm going to talk about is nothing less than the single greatest health science, anti-aging, and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. We're in an incredible position with what we have. We can help a lot of people with this product. There's a lot of people out there. The doctors can't do anything for them. They've got discomfort through their body, and these products could potentially help anybody with that has any issue that involves a cell. And as you know, our bodies are made up of cells. So where there's a cell involved, there's these things called redox signaling molecules, which I'm going to be talking about tonight. So I'm going to go into my story first and go back to the early days when I was growing up here in Sydney. That's a picture of me on the left and standing between my parents, George and Tess, on the right. We grew up in a middle-class family here in the western suburbs of Sydney, grew up in around Parramatta. Mum and Dad had several jobs between them, did the best they can for bringing us up out in the western suburbs in those days, put us through very good schools and gave us really good life. But I realised at that age that I didn't want to do what they were doing, and I just knew that it wasn't something that I was that I wanted to do when I grew up and working, I suppose, as hard as they did. I recognised at 6 years old that wasn't the thing that what I wanted to do. So I ended up playing a lot of sports, and as much as I didn't want to be working as hard as my parents, I actually hated school and I wanted to leave. So I put all my time and efforts into my sports. I played rugby league. This is a picture of me down the left-hand side and my father, who was a coach, on the left. And I did judo and gymnastics back then, played a lot of sports, and that was a big part of my life. Got to year 10, actually made it to year 10. This is my school formal. My father said to me at this stage that I had to go on to year 11 and 12, which I did, something that I didn't want to do, something that he made me do, but I did go on for the sake of my father and come back to him in 1984, halfway through year 11, and I said to Dad, I said, I want to leave school. And he said to me, well, if you find a job that I like, I'll let you leave. And I said to him, well, what do you mean a job that you like? I'm the one that's got to work it. Anyway, I got a job with Westpac and worked for Westpac for several years, did really well, worked up myself up from a $4,000 a year job to a $40,000 a year job at the age of 21. At that stage, though, I realised that I didn't want to work for anybody anymore, didn't want a traditional job. So I bought myself a business, and I had a fitness shop up in Newcastle, 2 hours north of Sydney. And I worked and built this business, and that was the start of me becoming an entrepreneur and also going into competing bodybuilding. So this is a picture of me at the age of 24 years old. over 20 years, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses. So this was the start, the first business that I actually bought and started building in 1991. And through that time, I met my beautiful wife, Suzanne. That's a picture of her on the left. And we got married in 1999. And 20 years later, we've still got an incredible life together. Happiest day of my life with what you can see here. This is a picture of me in December 2010. So I wasn't a bodybuilder at this stage, but I was the fittest 44-year-old that I could be, with going to the gym every morning, and I wanted to, be in good shape and in good health by the time I reached 50 years old. Unfortunately, 6 months later, the doctors gave me some bad news. This is a picture of me literally in May 2011, and they told me I had two horrendous issues that weren't going to go away. As you can see, I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes. I spent 2.5 years in and out of a hospital here in Sydney. And what they did to me in that hospital, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, next to me, who used to play for the Parramatta Eels and the Cronulla Sharks. He was top of his game here at the age of 21, making a big comeback after going through what I started going through in this photo. Unfortunately for him, his issue came back. And straight after this photo, we lost him by the age of 23. So what we had was pretty horrendous, and it was pretty serious. At the end of the 2.5 years of what I went through in that hospital and what they did to me, they basically told me to get my affairs in order. So this stage, we were flat broke. My wife and I were living in my parents' granny flat in their backyard and their home down at Jervis Bay. I'm thinking to myself, well, if I've only got so much time, I'd like to see a little bit of Australia. So we borrowed $25,000 from my parents. We purchased this little camper van that was self-contained, and we started travelling up and down the east coast of Australia. While I was doing this, I went on to an alkaline diet, because at this stage, when the doctors told me to get my affairs in order, I took the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And I started on an alkaline diet, but I also spent a lot of money on nutritional products from network marketing companies. And, I use these products from Zango, Cellgevity from Max Products, Product B from Genics, Life Advantage, I used Protandem, Kangen Water. And for 2 years, I was on this very strict diet, was spending a lot of money on these nutritional products. And after 2 years, this was the result. So what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was still happening on the inside. So my blood works was still heading in the wrong direction. You can see that I wasn't looking well at all. And it was a bit of a shock after 2 years that I was still in this state. This is in October 2014, when a friend of mine, Bart Cotter, reached out. He called me from Utah, from Salt Lake City, and all he said was, I think I've found something that can help you. So within a week, I flew over to Salt Lake City, took a friend of mine, Mal Sword. Mal Sword had been dealing with a skin challenge for over 40 years, spent over $100,000 trying to help his skin problem. We went to the headquarters of this company. We met Bart. We were sitting in a meeting which was explaining the breakthrough, the technology, these products, the science behind the breakthrough, and nearly everything was going over my head. The only thing that I understood, Dr. Gary Samuelson, who's an atomic and medical physicist who came up with the breakthrough, was what was in these bottles that were sitting on the boardroom table at the time was 100% non-toxic, and it could have health benefits. So Mel and I were drinking this product while sitting there listening to the presentation. About 3 hours went past. We went back to the hotel room to have a shower to meet the founders of the company, ASEA, the executives of the company, and also Dr. Gary Samuelson. I took off my shirt to have a shower, and I'm covered in all these little red spots. Didn't put two and two together at the time, but my body was detoxing what wasn't supposed to be in there. So what I was trying to achieve in 2 years on this alkaline diet, and this was the lead up to this photo, was literally happening in a short 3 hours. Next day, I made a decision at breakfast to test this stuff that we were drinking the day before. Now, I've had a caffeine intolerance for 20 years at that stage, and I'd get bloating, and I'd be, have a lot of discomfort in around my belly. And any more than 2 coffees, I've got those issues all day. The next morning, I made a decision to have 6 coffees to test this stuff. And I went through the whole day, and there was nothing to remind me of what I endured for a whole 20 years. That issue was totally gone. So light bulb still didn't go on at that stage because there was nothing there to remind me of the problem that I had. But the next day, long story short, I had so much lung damage from everything they put me through in that hospital that I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. Those breathing issues and my lung problems I didn't have the next day. So basically in 2 to 3 days, I had these 3 major wins. Came back to Australia, kept drinking this stuff in this bottle. Still didn't really know what it was, but I knew it couldn't do any harm or couldn't actually hurt me. In June 2015, it was 8 months on the product. Fortunately, I had enough funds to be able to afford more product because of my health challenge that I had. I needed to drink a lot more of this product. And by December 2015, I got some very good news. And this was the day I got that good news. The doctors told me I didn't have those 2 major issues anymore. So my blood works were totally clear. Fast forward, just before I fast forward and show you the anti-aging effects and me looking younger, I had a lot of major injuries from playing sports, and they were debilitating. They stopped me from playing golf. They stopped me from fishing. They stopped me from doing things that I loved, and they stopped me from doing things that I didn't really like cutting lawns and washing cars. But by December 2015, my whole body had been rebuilt, including 20 years of pollen issues, sneezing, runny noses, and spraying terrible things up my nose for 20 years. All those issues were gone by the end of 2015. That was my journey back to health. If you fast forward, this is me 2017, and Suzanne and I last year, and you can see, as I said, the anti-aging effects too, with us looking, and definitely we are feeling a lot younger than what we did, all those years ago. So before I go into what these products are, what's in them, and what they do, I just want to talk about what's happening in your body right now. I want to talk about these redox signaling molecules. So redox signaling molecules are vital to keeping our cells working at optimal level, vital to keeping us alive, vital to our health. I don't want to go too much into the science, but within the cell, there's these little factories, there's these little power plants called the mitochondria, and they produce the energy for our cells. As that energy production is taking place, there's a chemical reaction that's happening that changes the molecular structure of salt water into these molecules called redox signaling molecules. Now, what they're responsible for is detecting cells and then signaling the body to either protect them, repair them, to destroy and replace if they're too far gone. We all know how important antioxidants are. Well, antioxidants are absolutely useless and do not work unless they're activated by these redox signaling molecules that we are naturally producing in our bodies. They're also key in the regulation of our 12 major systems. So, for example, if somebody has sugar problems, that is where the pancreas goes out of balance, producing too much, not enough insulin, and then all of a sudden someone's on medication for that issue. Well, these molecules are responsible for regulating our 12 major systems, our cardiovascular system, our digestive system, endocrine system, skin, our skeletal system. They're responsible for balancing and regulating our 12 major systems, which is very, very important to our health. They also reduce the oxidative stress in our bodies. That's our bodies rusting. So an example of that would be the plaque that builds up in arteries that causes heart disease. They also detect the bacteria, the virus, and infection in our bodies. Without that detection, our bodies and our systems don't know where these issues are, so they don't know to deal with them. They're also responsible for turning on genes, converting stored fat around organs into energy, and so many more things. They're literally running our bodies top to bottom and involved in every single chemical reaction taking place. If you stop producing these molecules right now, you only have a few more breaths left in your body. So they're critical and crucial to life. Now, science thought it was impossible to create these molecules outside of the body. And in 2007, this company, Acea, which it wasn't Acea at the time, was a biotech company, and a man by the name of Vertus Norden had control over the technology and trying to stabilize these molecules outside of the body that people had been trying to do for 15, 16, up to 17 years. He managed to bring in an atomic and medical physicist by the name of Dr. Gary Samuelson, who managed to, with a team of scientists over 2 years, stabilize these molecules outside of the body. This process started in 1990, but these molecules actually weren't stabilized till 2007. Excuse me. So once these molecules were stabilized, Vertus's strategy was to pitch the technology to the pharmaceutical industry. So in 2007, that took place, and there was a meeting where Vertus Norden brought in a few executives from a pharmaceutical company and a biochemist, and they went through all the data of what they had done, stabilize these molecules outside of the body, change the molecular structure of salt water through a 3.5-day electrochemical process. And these executives, they were basically going back to head office all day, making phone calls, going through the paperwork and all the research, came back to Vertus at the end of the day and made him an offer that he wasn't going to refuse, an obscene amount of money. And what happened was they said to Vertus, well, Vertus, we want all the data, all the research from the last 17 years, but you've also got 135 people on the product. You need to take the product off them. You need to shut that down. And Vertus asked them the question. He said, well, listen, that's not really fair. He said, if I take some of these people off the product, some of these people, the doctors can't do anything for them, and, they're not going to live long. And one of the executives piped up and said, Vertus, people deal with their challenges the best they can. If you want this check, you need to let them go. And there were, 6 people that were in a lot of trouble with their health. And Vertus Norden made a decision on that day to keep this technology and leave it for his legacy to humanity. So I'm so happy he did that, because I'm literally physically here because of that decision. So we've got a product called ASEA, and that's the name of the company. And this product, on the back, it's got salt and water. That's what it's made from. But once the molecular structure has been changed through this 3.5-day electrochemical process, it's not salt water anymore. It's trillions and trillions of these redox signaling molecules that signal your body to find and detect the issues in our body, and signals the body to heal itself. So these signaling and communication molecules actually signal the body and lets the body know where these issues are. This product that we can consume, it's 100% non-toxic. It's bioactive because it's native to the body. So as soon as it goes in, it's bioactive. It works because the body produces it. I mean, if you ate berries, berries are good for you, great antioxidants, but berries don't grow in our body. These molecules are produced in our body. All we're doing is replenishing the body, topping up the body, and helping the body to do what it does best, and that's heal itself. See, the issue is, as children, we produce these molecules in abundance. By the time we get to my age, in our 50s, we only have about 50% production left. We're losing 1% production every single year, because the environmental impact of what we're breathing, eating and drinking is having an impact on these molecules being produced in our body. By the time we get to 70 years old, we only have about 10% production left. So a 70-year-old is healing and recovering 10 times slower than what they did at the age of 10. So now we can replenish the body of a 70-year-old to be healing and recovering so much faster because of the loud and clear signals in their body for the body to heal itself. Now, there's another breakthrough that came, and this company's 10 years old, 5 years after the company started, and they managed to stabilize these molecules into 2 natural products where we can shake this gel, and this is all over body rejuvenation, this Renew 28. You can use it on anything on the outside of your body that you don't like. So this is an incredible product and breakthrough in itself. A lot of people use it for wrinkles, cellulite, elasticity in skin, moisture, but anything that you don't like anywhere, from anything from the harsh conditions here in Australia, anything at all, to things that you've done to yourself. If you've got anywhere that you hurt anybody, you can apply this gel 3 times in 5 minutes and just gauge the difference between what you're going through and how you're feeling 10 minutes later. And it's just going to show you very quickly how powerful this product is. We do have a very small skincare range. We've got a cleanser, we've got a moisturizer, we've got a serum. So all that works around the Renew 28. So that's a total or complete skincare system and range. And the company last year launched an incredible whole food micronutrient, phytonutrient multivitamin, GMO, all that stuff free and organic. They've also got a probiotic, which is an incredible product because people think of probiotics are great, but not effective unless they've got prebiotics within them. And this one has. There's only about 5 companies in the world that have probiotics with prebiotics, and we're one of them. And also a longevity product with Life Max to keep your cells working at an optimal level from a nutritional point of view. Whereas we've got the ASEA Redox Supplements keeps your cells working at an optimal level from a communication point of view. So in February 2015, after 4 months after using the product, and this is one thing that I really regret, and a lot of people really regret not sharing this product, this technology, this company with people from day one. So I waited 4 months, and I'm thinking now in that 4 months, how many people did I lose? And take the word lose however you want. How many people did I lose by not talking to people over those 4 months? I mean, I was only in it for my own health, which was a little bit selfish. I had incredible results. But 4 months after I started using the product in February 2015, I started sharing these incredible products. I came from, as I said, building businesses over 20 years. I was very successful in traditional business, employed thousands of people. When I lost my health, as you guys know, wealth doesn't matter. You've got nothing if you haven't got your health. So around February 2015, I was at rock bottom financially. We had lost everything. My wife was looking after me through 2.5 years of those hospital visits. Made a decision to start sharing these incredible products with people. And fortunately, we started getting thank you checks. That gave me the ability to buy more product for my health. And then it actually turned into an incredible lifestyle as a byproduct of helping people. So we're here to help you with this incredible gift of ASEA. This gift is a vehicle that can take anybody to wherever they want to go in life. It could be back to health or even to financial freedom. Fortunately, I got my health back and we end up financially coming good as well. To the point where within 12 months of sharing this product, we're basically traveling the world full time. So it's an incredible journey. I wouldn't have expected from looking for something for my own health for it to end up an incredible business opportunity. So that's the opportunity side. Anybody that's on this call that wants to look at this for your health and that's all you're interested in, that's fine. We're here to help you. That's what it's all about. So if you go back to the person that introduced you to this call, and they can open up a wholesale account and get you access to these products at the best possible price. If you're interested in the business side, I have never seen a bigger business opportunity in my entire life. And so I was very successful in traditional business, built a lot of traditional businesses. This has given me and a lot of people that I have helped to be able to turn around their health totally financially in a short period of time. And we're talking about, I know there's a couple of people on this call with me in the same bracket as me that are on substantial income, 6-figure, 7-figure incomes that you can build through this incredible opportunity. So I don't know where your life is now with your health or where you are financially, but if you're looking for the best opportunity we'll ever come across in our lifetime because of how big this breakthrough is, which is the single greatest health science, anti-aging and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime, you're in a really good place. We're here to help you to share this with people around the world. I didn't know anybody outside of Australia 4.5 years ago. I now have business in 40 countries. So guys, if you're looking for, as I said, health or financial freedom out of this incredible company called ASEA, which ticks every box with everything from the upper level management who come from running Fortune 50 companies to the ethos, the ethics, the principles and values of the company, the incredible breakthrough technology or their generous compensation plan, you're in a very good place. Last year we hit momentum, and this business is moving very fast now. So as far as timing and opportunity, you couldn't be in a better place. Go back to the person who invited you on this call, and if you have any inquiries, I'm here and I'm more happy to help, and I can have a chat to you as well. So thanks for coming on, guys. Have a great night, and we'll catch you soon.